Good morning. Oh man, do I miss you guys? It's crazy. It feels like we should definitely be back already, but I know it sucks. So, week 3 of remote instruction. Here we go. The first things first, I want to let you guys know that I will be having a virtual hangout for each class at some point in time tomorrow. I posted the information for that, I think, on Friday in the stream part of Google Classroom. So if you look there, I believe my core one. Let me just double check. Actually, I'm confident. Okay. Core 1 is at 10, Core 2 is at 11, and then Core 3 6th grade is at 1, and Core 3 7th grade is at 2. And those will all be through Microsoft Teams. You have to download Microsoft Teams to your computer or to your phone. And if you don't want to participate, you don't have to. It's totally optional. If the call comes through and you don't want it, just don't answer. Okay, totally cool. A couple norms and expectations if you are going to join. Please make sure, even though this is a fun time, this is still, we're not learning anything, but we're hanging out in an academic setting. So I do still expect academic language from you. I do still expect no cursing and things like that. Please speak in the same way that you would if we were physically at school together. Make sure that if you have something loud going on in the background that you mute yourself. I'll tell you guys tomorrow about that when you enter into our Microsoft Teams virtual meeting. But muting yourself is not a bad thing. It's when me and my friends Skype or Zoom or whatever, we all mute ourselves when we're not talking. It's just kind of good etiquette, because if you're not talking and your dog starts barking, or someone rings the doorbell, or something happens, and it gets really loud all of a sudden, that's kind of hard to deal with if other people are talking. So my goal for us tomorrow is to play some sort of fun game, talk to each other, just see what's been going on in everyone's life. So it's going to be pretty low key. Again, it's not required. It will not impact anything in PowerSchool. It's just to be social. Okay. I know I'm missing having that social interaction time with you guys every day. I'm missing our conversations, and I know some of you are too. So I just want to make sure we can have that time together. So that's all of that. Instructions for the week for your assignments. You're going to have 2 things to do. They're going to take a little bit longer, so we want to make sure that you have it. The first thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be finishing your weather data collection. You should, at the end of this week, have at least 9 data points. So 9 days you've collected data is the goal. If you don't have all of those, you can either go back on that National Weather Service website and you can get past data from them, or you can use some of the data that's in the weather analysis assignment. I'll tell you about that in a second. So there's a video that Ms. Reiner made about how to make the type of graph that we're going to use. And the type of graph that we're going to use is different, because there's not just 1 and 1. And that might be backwards for you guys. There's actually another axis on this side too. So there's 1 here and 1 here. I think Ms. Reiner does a great job of explaining it, but if for any reason you can't figure it out within about 20 to 30 minutes, please don't stress yourself out, okay? If you can't figure it out within 20 to 30 minutes on how to do both sides, just do a standard graph. Just do 1 here and 1 here. I will be okay with that. That will be fine. We're just trying to challenge you a little bit more. But if it's not doable and it takes you too long, please don't get overly frustrated. You will still earn the completed score if you just do a graph that has an x-axis and a y-axis. So since we're looking at the date is always going to be the x-axis. And then you can choose what you do on the other axis. So actually, I have a whiteboard. Let me show you. So typically we have this and this, and I don't know if you can see that. You can kind of see it. Let me speak a little closer. So normally we would have date here, and then we would have something else like temperature on this side. Okay, and then we'd have different dates, and then we would mark the temperature. I mean, if we live in Colorado, the weather can actually look like that. So, and then temperature, of course, I should put in degrees Celsius or degrees Fahrenheit, whichever one you measured in, okay? That's fine. Now, for this one, we're actually going to have another axis. So we're going to look at temperature and we're going to look at like humidity. So there'll be another axis here and it says humidity. And it'll either use a different color bar or a different color line or whatever it is. And so humidity is measured in percentages. So we'll have like 10%, 20%, 30%, and the highest humidity can go is up to 100. So 100% humidity, and 100% humidity means water's falling from the sky. It means it's raining. So, and then you'd have something different. So maybe this first day when the temperature was really high, the humidity was also high. Then maybe the next day it was about here, and then here, here, here. This day it rained, and then like that. So then you'd have a different thing here. And we could try and look for patterns. So we could try and see if one thing is related to the other. So we could say, oh, when the temperature is high, is the humidity also high? So looking at our graph, it seems like that's almost a pattern, right? This is just data I made off the top of my head, sorry. So that's how we want your graphs to look, is to have one axis here and one here. But if that's not working out digitally, it's okay. Just do date and then do temperature or humidity or whatever one you want to do on the side over here, because that's your choice. Whatever thing you measured, you could do wind speed, you could do, I think those are probably the best three. So that's our graph. All right. Then you're going to have a weather analysis like worksheet to do, and that's going to talk about how to analyze all that. And then there's also an optional extension for the week. So you can make a weather forecast. On Friday, I posted a video of myself making a weather forecast, and that was an example. Look at this curl. Look at that. Sorry. So yeah, that was an optional thing if you want to do one. I thought it was fun making it. So if you want to make one, great. I would love to see your weather forecasts. So yeah, if you have any questions, Microsoft Teams or my email address, or comment in Google Classroom. Good luck, and I hope to see you tomorrow.